The Parliamentary Budget Office is now warning that the intended beneficiaries of the government's affordable housing programme may be locked out, as over 70% of those targeted are classified as middle and low-income earners. The Parliamentary Budget Office finding that high-income earners were likely to benefit more, as 36% of funds set aside for the affordable housing project were earmarked for the construction of institutional housing programs and projects which target individuals with a monthly income of above 149,000 shillings. Here's Chimtai Goin with that report.
Though the affordable housing program was billed as one aimed at uplifting Kenyans living in deplorable conditions and facilitating access to affordable homes and bridge the existing housing deficit of over 2 million units, it appears the plan may after all only favour the privileged. A financial and economic analysis of the Affordable Housing Bill 2023 by the Parliamentary Budget Office found that home ownership for those with a gross income of less than 50,000 shillings is low. Despite the government classifying beneficiaries into three, where 30% of the funds will be set aside for social housing targeting those with a monthly income of below 20,000 shillings, another 30% earmarked for affordable housing projects targeting persons with a monthly income of between 20,000 shillings and 149,000 shillings. The third, 36% set aside for institutional housing programs targeting those earning above 149,000 shillings. The Parliamentary Budget Office noted that while statistics have shown that despite the numbers of those formally and informally employed being huge, representing 74%, only 60% of the funds had been allocated to their categories of houses.
One example is somebody who is working for as a bus driver and earning over 30,000 or 50,000, and yet there is a watchman who is formally employed, earning 15,000 and is being levied vis-a-vis that one who is, all those issues were raised by the public, and I believe that we're going to look into all of them so that we also balance.
The Research Office also noted that there was lack of clarity on how the funds will be utilized under the Kenya Slum Upgrading Low-Cost Housing and Infrastructure Fund, especially since counties are part of the program, proposing that a framework for utilization of the funds be developed. During public participation, concerns were raised over whether the government may decide to utilize the proceeds from the housing levy for other purposes.
We had a law which was done through the finance bill, and which became an act of parliament, of course, that any money collected for this or towards housing should only be used, and it was a shall only be used in housing and nothing else. That law is still in place, has not been suspended. So we want to enhance it, and we are going to enhance it in this particular bill that we are proposing now.
The office was further concerned that if the housing levy remained nullified, and with the government already grappling with a shortage of resources, it is likely that contractual agreements between developers and the government may run into headwinds. Some of the issues raised by members of the public include: does the housing levy have an exit clause? And has the committee managed to address issues the court flagged as unconstitutional? The report of the Joint Committees of Finance and Housing will be tabled in Parliament next week for consideration. Chimtai Goin, Citizen TV.